in my swish in, my bitch out the prescription. My eyes closed, cause I'm drifting. I'm so high, I might go missing. Girl, I know you smoke that fine, but this right here, that diesel. And I know you think you faded, but bitch, I don't believe.
What's going on today, guys? It is Dylan from Rev Culture Podcast. I'm not really with Jay right now. He's actually at work, so he should be down here a little later. But yeah, we are going to be doing some maintenance on the 6.0 Power Stroke. This big guy right here. This is my 05 6.0 Power Stroke. This is the post 04.5 truck, so this has the IPC on the front passenger side. This also has the higher amp alternator and a bunch of other little small shit this truck has differently than the post pre-04s, including the turbo. But it's a completely stock post 04 6.0. It's literally just an edge intake, exhaust, and an EGR delete. Other than that, she's made to be reliable. And everybody's got their own kind of moment in life when they sit there and they go, well, shit, dude, why... How do you keep a 6-liter fucking reliable? Well, not to really bash nobody, but it's not bad trucks, it's just bad mechanics. That's why mine's been running solid for 6+ years without a single issue. We still are on the factory 6-layer gaskets. Not a problem. So I'm going to be just dissecting into this truck today. We got our own little stuff going on right here. So, started off, we're going to give it a nice oil change. I run 15W40 T4 Rotella in my truck. The only difference between the T4 and I think it's the T5 or it's 10W40 motor oil. The only difference between the two motor oils is the 10W40 is just a little louder on the valves. I guess that's personal preference how you want the truck to run. But I kind of like the truck being able to lubricate itself pretty well, considering this truck is a... We'll get into the podcast later about this truck, but this was a Rush production truck back in 04. And I think, yeah, late 03, early 04. It was one of the 2 years. They had the original 7.3 NBS body style with a 6.0, and then they went to the facelift 6.0, which I own. So I run Rotella 15W40. That oil does real good up here in the New York cold and in the heat. It's a little thinner. I believe it's thinner than the 10W40, but on hindsight, it keeps the truck nice and running. I've been running it for 6+ years, this oil, and I have never had a problem with it. We are running the normal Ford Motorcraft parts. That's what I run in the complete 6.0 setup. It's all Ford Motorcraft. When I get into the podcast later with Jay about why the truck was all redone and shit like that. But we use Ford Motorcraft. We're running an FL 2016 filter. This is for your 6-liter diesel. We have our funnels here for when we get sloppy and make a fucking mess, because we're going to. And then we got 2 bottles of Prestone coolant, because you're wondering, would you turn the thing into a milkshake maker? No, I did not. What we are doing today, one of the side quests, is this little guy right here. This right here, guys, is a Mushimoto 180-degree thermostat. Now, I know guys running in the wintertime, why don't you run the truck hotter in the winter, etc., etc. Well, that is because this is going to help the 6.0 issue of blowing head gaskets. It's not the fix, but it does prevent a lot of issues later when you have a really hot head. So we're going to get right into it, guys, but this is our thermostat, Mushimoto. What's really nice is this guy's only 85 bucks. You can't complain about that. And you get a really nice, you get a 10 degrees colder operating temp. I'll show that later on the schematics, but this truck right here runs at 192, 195 degree coolant temperature. That is normal running temp for the 6.0. The milkshake maker starts at 215 degrees. So that's a real big downfall, because we've had that moment before. I've already replaced the oil cooler in this truck once. So this guy right here is just going to help prevent that from happening with allowing the coolant to be 10 degrees colder, which means it has now a 30-degree buffer between a 20-degree buffer to become a milkshake maker. And I beat the shit out of this truck. I've hauled trailers up hills and shit like that, guys. I've never had a problem with the truck getting higher than 205, 210. So 215 is where you're in that range of you might become a milkshake maker. But on the bright side, we did get 140,000 miles out of a factory oil cooler. So from what I've read from the milkshake maker Heaven over here, these guys actually did pretty good with that oil cooler because it's taken care of me for that long, and then I replaced it, and we're going on from there. So guys, to say the least, I'm going to get into the video here because I got to get rolling, but we're going to get into it here. So guys, to do your thermostat on your 6-leaker, you need a simple couple of tools here. So preferably a 12-inch, 9-inch extension. That way you can get down to those bolts down in there. Your 13 mil socket deep, you're gonna need that. We're using a 3/8 drive for the thermostat bolts, so that's that. We have our quarter drive right here. This guy right here is gonna be used to take your top radiator hose off. Mine has a bolt top, and then the second radiator hose has an old clamp on. So we're gonna pop that bastard off. So underneath of our 6-leaker, as everyone likes to call her, you have a petcock right here. That is going to drain your radiator. So it's really easy. All you got to do, guys, is just take a bucket, a little 5-gallon bucket, and you're just going to find the way it twists. Which is lefty loosey, righty tighty. And you just let it drain. And just like that, you are now draining the coolant out of your 6-leaker. Oh, it's leaking. Well, boys, you can look under my truck. It does not leak a single fluid underneath the truck. That is what good maintenance on a 6-liter will do for you guys. She'll take care of you for months and years on end. And everybody hates these fucking trucks. But it's taken care of me for over 70,000 miles, so I don't want to hear nothing about a 6-liter. But for you guys that are new to working on vehicles and maybe you have a 6-liter and you showed up on this channel because of this fucking truck, well, let me tell you something, guys. Make sure you take your cap off. That's going to help everything flow right out of the radiator. So, guys, she's been draining for literally 15 minutes and we're still leaking coolant out. So, with my best judgment, I'm going to say that the truck is pretty much done draining all the coolant out of the truck. So we're gonna get cracking on this thermostat. Here is your Mushimoto thermostat. If you see on the top there, you'll see that little notch right here. I'll zoom up on it for you guys. That notch actually is notched into this radiator hose. So you can genuinely pull this thing out with the radiator hose still attached to the thermostat, place it back onto this thermostat, and it will bolt up straight onto the truck. So we're gonna get into it. So, with our shorty guy here, we're going to pop that off, and we're going to start taking this radiator hose off. She's empty, I can hear it. It's all there. So we're just going to loosen this guy a little bit. It should pretty much slide off the truck. I've had PTSD of this thing popping hoses, so this ain't the first time this truck's ever done something stupid like this to me. And just like that, guys, the radiator hose is off. She's still leaking the coolant out, so that's fine with me because I got 2 things of coolant back here. I'm ready to rock. So the next thing you got to do is get this, you can get this tension off, which is not that hard to do. You probably do it with your hands if the thing is weak enough, but if it is that weak, you should replace the fucking thing. So we're going to take our pliers here. We're going to get down into the motor here on the 6-0. We're going to find both of our prongs that we got to grab onto. Get down into there. But with the pliers out now, you can take your radiator hose, your top one, pull it right out. So guys, that's actually my apology. You took the 13 mils off to actually pull the sensor for your thermostat. There she is. The mount for the thermostat is free. And now we've got another set of 13s that have to come off. So, just by getting that out of the way, I can see now we have 2 13s to pull off. So we're just going to repeat that process. Yeah, with a little bit of persuasion, she comes free. Huh. Scoundrel. So I used a 3-inch extension because that raised my ratchet up more. So I was able to get that nice cranking force to get that bolt off. So, like I said, guys, I haven't watched a tutorial how to do this. I'm literally just a kid who gets his hands dirty working on trucks. So, we're gonna put that one there. All right, we're gonna get our 9-inch, 12-inch extension back onto our 3/8 drive with our 13. We're gonna hit the other side here. This is probably gonna need the same kind of persuasion. Make sure that's on there nice and tight. And just like that, boys, with enough persuasion, the only reason I wasn't cranking on it so hard is because, well, you wonder why my shit lasts. Because I'm not over here breaking shit. And just like that, guys, the thermostat is loose. So here's your, oh, she's a fucking steamer. There she is, guys. Old thermostat. She looks good, actually. I mean, she's definitely seen her wear and tear. I'll grab the camera here so you guys can see this shit. And now, the amount of fucking tinging around. We have our 85 degrees Celsius, 185 degree thermostat, which is going to help the truck stay cooler. This thing should open around 180 degrees, which gives us, instead of having a 20 degree buffer to blow out oil cooler, it gives us a 30 degree buffer, which is going to help us out a lot with the classic 6.0 oil cooler problems. But now it's time to put the Mushimoto thermostat in. So, boys, first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our O-ring, we're going to toss that O-ring right into the grooves. Has little pins right there, as you can see. There's little pins on the thermostat, which are made for you to push your seal in and hold it in place when you install your thermostat. And just like that, guys, your thermostat has a seal. All right, guys, so we are about to put our thermostat back into our 6.0. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. But as it goes here, guys, we got our mating surface cleaned down there. Make sure you clean your mating surfaces. You don't want no corrosion being on here. Excuse me. And that being the reason that you guys can't seal your thermostat, because you'll be pissed if you got to do this a second time due to some corrosion. So, to say the least, guys, the way that this thermostat goes on the truck is like this. So that notch is towards the front of the truck. So when you put that notch in there, that thermostat is going to only go one way due to the simple fact that it is 2 bolts that put it on the truck. Just like that. Your thermostat is placed onto the truck, line it up with the holes, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of putting everything back together on this old bastard. So you got your 13 millimeter studs. Sorry if I'm in the way of the camera angle here, guys. I actually have a really good camera angle on that first bolt. But yep, you're just going to take that guy, twist them on. Your seal's on your thermostat. This line right here, guys, is what I'm talking about when I say it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the goddamn ass. And we're just going to shimmy this guy back onto his pedestal. There she is. So now that our thermostat sensor, I believe that is put back on the truck, you're going to take your 13 millimeters and we're going to put them on the top there. We're going to hand thread them first. You never impact them, never hit them with the fucking socket first. I'll slap you more than this damn camera work. But yeah, I'm a firm fucking believer in if you impact it on there, you didn't give a shit from the go. So if you really want your vehicle to last you, just take the extra time to put the thing on by hand. So that way, when you get your 13s on there, guys, she's nice. I also learned from doing this. You got your 9-inch extension there and your 13. You can reach the front and rear bolt from the back side of the intake. There we go. Everybody knows one of the hardest things about a ratchet is when it doesn't want to ratchet for you when you're trying to put shit on. Alright guys, so with enough shitty camera work, we now have our thermostat hooked up. They're fully bolted in. There's the coolant sensor I was telling you guys about earlier. That guy right there. He's half the battle you got to get over to get this bitch done. With that being said, just got to find our plug, which is right here. So after we get that into its slots like that, just pop her in. All right, boys. So I might knock the camera because the other hose is right here on the other side of the camera. But we're going to feed it down through like it's supposed to be. Run it under our overflow hose like she's supposed to be. And we're going to just slide that right on. Take this guy right here. And you're going to tighten your upper radiator hose. Make sure that's on there nice and snug. Make sure you're over the pig. Well, I won't call it pigtail, but the male side of this coolant setup. We're just going to loosen this a little bit, nudge it up a little more. So that way I have a nice, clear, perfect indication that I've got a good seal on my upper radiator hose. Now don't be sorry, guys. Crank on that thing a little bit. Make sure you got a nice fucking seal going on. You don't want this thing to come loose. You don't want to lose no coolant. You don't want to be that sorry bastard on the side of the road. And just like that, guys, your 6-leaker now has a Mushimoto thermostat. Now, guys, to say the least, our 6-leaker, everybody calls her a 6-leaker. My 6.0 Power Stroke now has a Mushimoto 185-degree thermostat in it, which is going to save that oil cooler just that little more. But when you're talking temperature-wise and regulating it, if you're pushing this thing 5 degrees, you know you're running. Say the least, guys, job's done. And it only took us about 40 minutes to do the whole job without looking up a tutorial video or any kind of know-how as to what to do with the truck. This is literally just MacGyver Joe getting it done in the garage. But yep, your Mushimoto thermostat is now installed. And do not be a sorry bastard. Make sure you keep your factory one. Don't keep it around forever. But what I want you guys to do, something that I do, I keep it around. I run the truck for a couple of weeks just to make sure that it's up to snuff and it's good. After I'm really satisfied, this goes to the junkyard. But now we got the second part of the video, guys. This motherfucker. We're going to be doing the oil change on the 6-liter. And this is a pain in the ass. If anybody's ever done it, you know you can't get a 5-gallon bucket up under that hood. It's a pain in the ass to do. So we have a 5-quart thing, just like the Presto in the container. I'll get that out of the truck, and we'll start doing the oil change on the 6.0. Alright guys, so we're going to get on to the oil change on the 6-liter Power Stroke. Very easy job. You don't need a whole lot of tools to do this job. A nice funnel. I made a homemade one. I'll show you this one here. I made a homemade funnel for my 6-liter Power Stroke oil change because anybody that knows and does 6-liter Power Stroke oil changes, you cannot, and I repeat, I have tried, getting that 5-gallon bucket up in that engine bay is a pain in the goddamn ass. Not fun. So the nice part is the 6-liter Power Stroke, the 6-liter Power Stroke takes 3 of these for a full oil change. 5-gallon bucket gets you about 4 more quarts than a full oil change, so you got 4 quarts to put back in there for any kind of oil you might need later down the road. You're going to need a 19 millimeter, deep or shallow, doesn't matter. I'm running with a deep socket impact because I like my hex. Running a 12-point socket on that scares me enough. I don't like that shit. We're going to run with a 6-side socket. To get your oil filter off, you're going to need a 36. And this is not a size that a lot of people, I would say, unless you got a Volkswagen, you know, your Volkswagen guys, you guys are 35s for those front bolts on the CV shafts. You guys know your 35s. I had a Mark V. I know the life. So actually, the oil filter cap housing is a 36. So all you really need, like I said, guys, is this 36 socket, 19 socket. We're running a quarter drive on it all because the 36 is a 1-inch. So we're going to run a half drive. And maybe a light if you really need it. And you're going to need your 5-gallon bucket and an FL 2016 filter. Simplest job known to man, guys. All right, guys, so we're under our 6-liter for the start of our oil change. You're going to take your 19, put it on your half drive. Make sure you got your plug out of your oil catch. Don't be that guy and destroy the factor of even putting oil into it because you can't drain the shit. So we're going to make sure our nozzle's open so it can vent. And we're going to get at it. So, Lucy, put it on there. Give it a nice crank on. I think it just slipped. Yep, she came loose. So now everybody that's an oil change expert, they know this part of the oil change is either the point where you get fucking messy or you get nice and clean. And I'm usually a pretty good one at getting clean. So we're going to make sure we skip a thread and boink. Oh, I got a little on me. That's all right. It happens. So if your drain pan is like mine, you should have an oil drain plug holder for your safekeeping for obvious reasons. And we're just going to let this thing drain out of the oil. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to wipe off that excess crap. Make sure it's nice and clean. Some guys do a little bit of brake clean on that. That's user preference depending on how you want to do it. There we go. A little bit of excess there. And the nice part about a 6.0 is it's a magnetic drain plug. So if you do, in fact, get some shavings down in your motor, it will catch it. You will be able to pull it out of the car. Really nice to have. So we're just going to hand tighten it back up there. And as a per usual precaution, ladies and gentlemen, take your 19, flip that thing onto Tighten. And you just want to give it a couple of cranks. You don't want to go crazy. Usually I grab the end of the socket here and I just crank it till it's tight. And then you do what I would do, which is called the nudge. So you put that on there and you just go boink, boink, boink. And she's nice and tight. So we're going to go topside and we're going to get the rest of the oil change done, ladies and gents. All right, boys, we are topside 6.0 now. And we're going to be changing our oil filter. And the nice part about the 6.0 oil filter is it is a very easy job. It's not that difficult to do, which is kind of nice for guys like us that are do-it-yourselfers. So this guy right here is your oil filter cap with your 36 on there loosening. You just want to give it a nice pull. It's going to have a little bit of suction, but as soon as you get that bitch cranked off, we're gonna hand crank it off now. It's gonna have a little spring action to it. There she goes. When she pops up, you just pull that out, and there's your old 6.0 oil filter. All right, guys. So something I always do with my filters is I check the sizes. It looks relatively the same. Nothing too crazy. Looks good. Not cleaned out perfectly, but we're just going to wipe that excess oil off. Just so that way we don't have a shit show when we're cleaning it up. And this is also for everybody that's a stickler when it comes to this type of job. There's people that will fill this canister with oil so that your motor doesn't starve. But if you watch your oil pressure gauge, it only starves for maybe 3 seconds. That's not crazy, especially when you're running cold motor. It's already pre-lubed 10 times, 15 times over from your 45 million oil cooler job, your oil change jobs. All right, so I grabbed a screwdriver And this is a job here that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. But if you just get your screwdriver under there and give it a little whoop, you can pull your old seal off. Throw that in there to drain. Take our rag. We're just gonna wipe all this off. Get this excess off the thing so it's nice and clean. Which, nice to go. So guys, the nice part about a 6.0 filter has a little pop pin on the bottom here, as you can see. You're just gonna put it in there, give it a nice little push. She's locked in, ready to go. And don't forget about your new O-ring. A lot of guys will keep the old O-ring on there because it didn't leak. I'm not that kind of guy. I like to replace my O-rings because why would I trust that? When it comes with a brand new seal, ladies and gentlemen, just put the seal on. Well, ladies and gents, we now have 2 people in the shop. We got Jay.
What up, though?
Yeah, what up, man?
What up, though? Came with the Prestone.
He came with the Prestone coolant to help us get the rest of this truck together. So I bought 2 gallons of coolant because I've never put more than 2 to 1 gallon of coolant in this truck. And it almost about filled a 5-gallon bucket. So I knew I was already in shit city. So buddy came over, came in clutch, he took care of us. So that's what we do here at REV Culture. But yeah, so now we got the fun part of it all. Putting this bastard back in the truck. You're just gonna take your filter, we're just gonna toss it back on there. Make sure you don't get that stuck. Make sure you got your new seal. Push it down on the spring and just start tightening. And everybody, we know how this goes. Don't crank it on there. You don't need to. Well, listen here, Buckwheat. I drive this truck. I take care of it.
I feel like you needed a little
Tight. 1, 2, 3. She's done.
I feel like it's got to be tighter with the diesel, anyways. You know.
You guys have seen that we drained the oil out of the diesel. We just replaced the filter up top. Now we got the fun part of putting oil back in this big bastard. Let's get at it. Son of a bitch.
Well, perfect time to start recording.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy was struggling there. We got a 5-gallon and we got our 5-quart. This is the part for the guys that don't have the luxury of having your pump. You're like me, the guy running the shit out of your job. That's what I do. Oh, motherfucker. There we go. Fill the 5-quart up.
You putting that whole bucket in here or no?
Huh?
You putting the whole bucket in the truck essentially?
15 quarts out of the 20. She chews. I should actually see where the. Oh, we're not even full. We're not close to full yet. Oh, you bastard. That's why we got the pad.
Amen. Shout out to Puppy Pee Pads, man.
Puppy pee pads getting her done today, boys. You got your oil fill right here. Twist that thing off. Any 6.0 guy will know if you flip that over and the thing is thrown off, you know you got blow by. It's not a good day for that 6.0 owner. But yep, that's that custom made funnel that I made, boys, because this job sucks. But if you do it enough, it becomes a cakewalk. She takes 3 of these things. So you either spend $100 on a 5-gallon bucket or you spend $120 on 5 of these. Or 3 of these. I'd rather spend the money on the bucket.
Amen. Good old fun coolant.
Well, we will have a 6.0 that is nurtured and healed and taken care of and maintained. So that's our first 5-quart.
Out of 4, 5 of those?
3.
That's not bad.
We got 2 to go. All right, guys. So we put our third 5-quart in there. There's Jay. Hell yeah. So we put our third 5-quart in the truck. We're just gonna tighten this on nice. We're not gonna do too crazy. 1 click. And now we gotta fire it up. And we gotta let it idle for about 5 to 6 seconds and then shut it down. We're gonna have to add coolant when we finally fire it up and let it run. Always check for leaks, guys. Always check your truck for leaks. Good. And you want to shut her down. Shut her down. That's one, ladies and gentlemen, how you put the 80-degree thermostat. That's an interesting word. Your 180-degree thermostat in your 6-liter Power Stroke. Oh yeah, make sure you plug your fan plug back in. We might need that for when the truck actually gets running. So guys, that is how you put your thermostat and do your oil change. Your 6-liter Power Stroke diesel. What do you think, Jay? You were only here for the last 10 minutes of this.
Yeah, but that last 10 minutes seemed like it sucked.
Yeah, anybody that works on these trucks that, like he said, we got to get a pump. I'm not against it at all, because anybody that knows doing this 5-quart idea is a pain in the dick. 150%. So yeah, guys, that is all that wrote for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe while Jay's looking at his phone.
My coworkers leaving, so I'm just saying my goodbess. Last day with them.
Hey, there you go. You got to say goodbye to the good coworkers.
Yeah, you got to send.
You have to say goodbye to the good coworkers, because they're the ones that made your day worth coming to.
100%. Gotta blow up the whole group chat with gifts and just.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You gotta make them feel like you love them. You know. Hey, you got work. We all got work wives, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I got a work wife. But yeah, guys, that right there is how you change your oil, your thermostat, and now we're gonna do the fun part of letting the truck run. But everybody knows how that works. You just watch your temperature gauge, make sure it doesn't go too crazy, check your leaks, and it should go pretty cake. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. From me and Jay here at Rev Culture, please like, comment, and subscribe to us so that you guys can get these weekly uploads on Sunday at noon. Like I said, guys, we hope you guys did enjoy the Damone, the Dizzy D interview. That was actually a lot of fun. I know he had a lot of fun talking to another BMW guy, and I had a lot of fun talking to an old friend. So that was definitely one of those things that we will not regret doing again. But like we said, guys, like, comment, subscribe. We are accepting members into Rev Culture, so if you are interested, make sure you check our Facebook, our TikTok, and our Instagram. Hit us up. Get down here, guys, because we're just basically 2 guys down here right now just enjoying the culture. So,
amen.
Amen, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night.